Hi everybody, in the last video we talked about how to create a new player in React using the create React module, audio event tags, and the context API. So here we have the result. We can select songs and all the things that an audio player does. And we didn't implement this part because this part we're going to implement it in this video because we need to access some custom functions of the system to be able to select folders. And so we're going to use Electron to make the app, and this application that's already made in React. So let's go. Alright, now we're going to take this React application and we're going to integrate it in an Electron app. So we're going to take all of this and install Electron. Let's go. Alright, so we have sort of the same package configuration here, but we're going to have, let me close this and this. We're going to have a couple of new scripts. We're going to have the app script that's going to launch the Electron app. We're going to have the Electron dev that's going to start the React application and the Electron at the same time, but it's going to wait on the server to open. I don't know why this is here. The pack is going to make the Electron application into an executable, and both of these do the same. Also, you have a home page. This is very important because the application is not going to run if we don't have this, because all the paths are going to be absolute, and the application is not going to find the right file. Also, here's the div dependencies that are not in the React. So we're going to have Electron is dev, concurrently, Electron builder, and wait on. Okay. The important thing here is when you install Electron, make sure you write this option here, because the paths are not going to be working correctly otherwise. All right, so then we go here, we go npm install. So now we have here, I have the code ready to explain, so we don't waste time. Oh, sorry about that. There you go. Close this. All right, so let me explain this in a better way. First, we're going to need to create the React build folder. Okay, you're going to do that by running npm run build, and the application is going to build, hopefully, in the build folder. We wait to that. Nice. Now we have this source folder. It's a developer folder, so we ignore that. We only need the build folder and this index file that's going to be the main file of the Electron app. Okay. Alright, so here we have our basic Electron boilerplate. You can find this in the Electron wiki. Up here we have our global variables, the main window variable, and the function that creates that window. So in the browser window, we set a width, a height, the mean height and the mean width to our application. We can change if the application is resizable. If we do that, we're going to have only the width and the height always to be 800 and 500. So we have here two ways of making this work. First, we can, if you're still developing the React application, you can run it at the localhost 3000 URL, make the server and make the changes, and you can see it in the Electron application. Or you can open the file with this file URL. Okay, going to make it with the file because I already developed the application. You can also remove the menu with this, and this one is really important because when you close the main window you need to set it to null to tell the system to recycle. Okay, so here we have an events of the Electron app. When the app is ready, create the window. When all the windows are closed, I think this is for Mac. The app quits, and alright, so this is also a Mac specific event. So it creates the application. Alright, so this piece of code is for the implementation of the select directory or select folder, and we're going to be looking at this in a moment. But before this, we need to see an important thing in the integration between Electron and React. That in a normal non-React application, we can do, in a normal Node.js application, we can use require and require directly the Electron module like this. But we need to make a little bit of a hack here and use the window object to require this module. I don't know if this breaks something, so let me know if you have a better way of doing this. I think this works, and we can retrieve the ipcRenderer object and use it in the React application. Okay, so before explaining all of this code, we need to talk about the IpcMain and the ipcRenderer. Those are this. So the ipcRenderer is a module. Uh, is an event emitter. It provides a few methods so you can send synchronous and asynchronous message from the render process to the main process, and you can also receive reply from the main process. So basically, what that does, that what you are seeing sends the an event or a message to the main process, that is the node server in this system, to make an action. It's like when your web page talks to the server and you receive a JSON file. You make the post request or get request. This is something like that, but with messages, okay, and with events. So here we have the IpcMain is basically the same as the ipcRenderer, but it is using the main. It's using the main process, and yeah, we can listen to event calls and uh, receive, send or receive information. Here we are in the React application in the part of the actions component. First, we're going to look at how we send the information back and forward and how the interaction is made in Electron. So here we have a hook that it's called Reactjs. This hook sends sends a message through a synchronous message requesting the data. This data doesn't matter that much in this example because we're going to let the Electron main process know that we are requesting the data. Here in this button we execute the hook. Then in the main process we're going to listen to the asynchronous message event, and when this happens we're going to execute this code. Then don't worry about all this, I'm going to explain it in a moment. When we retrieve the information, we always going to reply with the asynchronous reply event, and in the React application with the ipcRenderer we're going to listen to the asynchronous reply. I'm going to execute this code when that event is triggered. So here we are again in the main file of the Electron application. So we have here the dialog object that we're going to use. Okay, so the dialog object is a way of requesting the dialog window of the OS, and here we use it when the asynchronous message is triggered. So we're going to use here promises and the .then syntax to make this work. We're going to first execute the show open dialog of the dialog object and with these characteristics. So we're going to give it a title, the button label, and the properties. And also we're going to give it a filters. The important part here is that we filter these extensions mp3, ogg, and wave, because that's sort of standard for audio tags. Then we are using here the promises.then syntax. So then when this is done, we return the result and we're going to use that. So the result is going to have a cancelled property if the dialog is cancelled. So if that is true, we are using here a not. So if that is true, the reply is going to be cancelled. So here it's going to be true. It's going to be a true, and it's not going to reply nothing here, but in the front end we require something here. All right, so if it's not cancelled, you're going to use the standard file system module of Node to see the information in the path. Okay, and the read there function to read the path. So this requires a file path in the first parameter, and then options and a callback. So here we are using the file path that is provided by the dialog, and in the options we're going to select the with file types to true. An important part is that we're going to give it a callback when the directory is read and we have the results. So this callback is going to have the errors at the first parameter and the files in the second. If there is any error, we're going to send an empty array. If there's no errors, we're going to send a false here. That means that all is alright. It's maybe it's a little bit weird to send a false, but that's the way we are doing it here. The results path, that's going to be the absolute, so that is going to be the relative path to all the files and the files. All right, this is going to be the success event, and all the other events are going to be error events. And in the end, we're going to use the dot catch to catch any errors that we didn't specify. So when all is done correctly, the event is going to reply to asynchronous reply with a boolean that is going to be if all is good, the result path, and the files. Okay. Then in the React application, we're going to listen to asynchronous reply, and we're going to receive the argument. So the first argument, if the dialog has files, we cancel this. Sorry, because false means that there is files. So the second argument is the folder directory that we're going to get by because it's an array, so we need to get it in the first value. Then here we do sort of a prefix because we don't have slash there. We're going to map all the files because we're going to create a new array that is going to have the file name only without extension and the full URL. So this new songs array is going to have all the names in one column and all the path to the files in the other one. This is debug, so it doesn't need to be there. We call the song set functions that is in the context. We're going to look at that in a moment, and we give it the new songs. The song set function dispatch the type of set songs array with the data songs array, and in the player reducer we here update the songs variable here with the data that it's provided by the action. That I think I explained that in the, or I showcased that in the previous video, so see that if you are interested. And that's about it about the all ipcRenderer shenanigans. So let's see if this actually works. So we're going to run npm run up, and it's in the second monitor, sorry. And there we go. So right, we click the folder selection, and for example in music we select the directory, and here we have the music. As we can see, the music plays, right? Yeah, it plays, and we have the names correctly, and also we have sort of a desktop file that we don't remove, that maybe be in another video, but I don't know, it's an easy fix. We can filter the array of files and remove there, but that's about it. And so here's the directory. We also can open the dialog by clicking this input here, and that's pretty cool. So that's about it. If you want more of this project, let me know. We can maybe save and import playlists using JSON files, or retrieve JSON files from an URL. Alright, so that's about it. Let me know if you like this sort of style of tutorial. I didn't focus on typing this rather than showing you what is the end product to make it more fast. Yeah, if you want to look all of this by yourself, I'm going to let the repo in the description. So see you in the next one. Bye.